Hi, if you're a student at Southwest, you have access to free Microsoft Office software, the latest version even. So let me tell you how to get that because you want to take advantage of all these benefits. Open your web browser. I happen to have Firefox open. I believe it would work on whatever browser you so choose, including Mac. You can do this for the Mac as well and get the Macintosh version of the software. Click up on the address bar and you're going to type this. You're going to type portal, Portal, dot Microsoft Online, Microsoft Online, all one word, .com. Press the enter key. Don't click, press the enter key because you're not trying to search for this. You're going directly to that address. A lot of students make that mistake, so type that exactly, and when you get to the end, you hit the enter key on your keyboard. You don't use your mouse, don't click, right? Okay, look, they have some new stuff going on, new experiences all the time. I'm going to just say no to that. Now, if you have never done this before, you probably have something asking you to log in right now. In fact, it probably looks like this. Okay, very important thing here. You're going to type your entire Southwest email address and then you're going to press the tab key. So it's like this. That's my login name at southwest.tn.edu. Now watch what happens. See the pretty picture over here on the left hand side? I told you to hit tab when you finish typing. Tab. It says, oh, you said at southwest.tn.edu. Let me take you to that specific website. Now enter your Southwest password. I hit enter. Now this is like really cool because there's a lot of stuff going on here that I want to talk about. The first is, do you want to install the software on your local computer? And this is a great thing. But if you're at the college has already installed the software, so don't waste one of your installations installing software on one of the college computers because you don't need to do that. But if you have a laptop at home and maybe you have a desktop at home and maybe your son, your daughter, your spouse also has a laptop, you get 5 installs, okay, 5 free installations. And to do it, you just come up here where it says install software, and I'm going to click that. Now, I'm not going to follow through all the installation steps because I'm on a college computer and frankly, it already has the software on it. But I certainly did this for my computer at home, right? Because this is free software. And so from this point, you would follow the steps to install the software, right? Pretty straightforward. Just, basically it's next, 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 next. And so you've probably, have experience doing that. So that's how you install it. After you install it, you would no longer need your web browser. You would go to the start button, on your computer, whatever it looks like, and you would then just simply access Word or Excel or whatever it happened to be. Okay? That's all there is to it. Wasn't that easy? But wait, there's more. I'm going to go back. Oh, what's it doing here? Oh, now it's okay. It's taking me to different things. Let me see if I can click on my account or worst case scenario. This is called the waffle up here. This is how Microsoft describes it. Let me see. Can I get to home there? I want to make sure we're all starting from the same place, and it just looks like it's taking a long time. Okay, well, when in doubt, let me show you this so I make sure. To log out, and you want to log out when you're done, click on your name and sign out. You always want to do that because if somebody has access to your account through this way, then they would have access to your emails and that kind of thing as well. And so there you go. You've signed out. Now, still in my browser, let's just practice that again. Portal. And look how it's even coming up. If you see that, do me a favor. Don't be clicking down here. Just go to the end of the line. You can do that by doing the right arrow key and hit enter. This is keyboard stuff. Now, since I've logged in, it remembers my username. Now, if not, I could type it in again, but I'm just going to click it. It redirects me to the Southwest page, and then I type in, again, my Southwest password. This is what I was trying to get back to. Apologies for that. Now, I told you clicking on Install Software, you install it on the local computer. You have up to 5 free installs at this time anyway. And you could close out of your browser and you could go to the Start button and you could access whatever was installed. But maybe you're at your work computer and you know that you need to type or finish typing, a research paper or an English paper or history paper that you have to do, but you don't want to install the software on your, work computer, right? Well, if you are familiar with Google Docs or any of the other cloud-based word processing or spreadsheet softwares, that type of thing, you have that also for free through that Southwest login. And that's what these tiles are along here. Now, you may have different tiles. Your tiles may be in a different order. So kind of look around. One thing that I want to point out to you is that your Southwest email can be accessed in this way by clicking the mail icon, and it's kind of a richer mail experience than perhaps what you might be familiar with. You got a calendar, you got all kinds of things. Let's open a Word document, and again, I'm doing this kind of quickly. You can rewind the video if you need to. What's new? Well, let's see, I can edit it quickly. Anyway, it's probably not new to you by the time you're watching this video, so got it. All right, now just like in regular Word, you have templates that you can choose from, or you can start with a blank document. I'm just going to start with a blank document. Now, when I open this, what I want to tell you is that we are still in our browser. Okay, so we're not using that local installation of Word. It's not even aware that there is a locally installed Word necessarily at this particular point. Okay, nothing is installed on the computer to do this part, to use the cloud-based version, which is what we're using. Okay, so I'm in my browser, and you might notice it looks a little different. Just as an example, let me do this. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to open the Word that's installed on my computer. This is Microsoft Word. Getting ready to open it. Right? Doesn't it look very similar? Now, see how the features look different? I have more things. It's a little bit of a richer experience. Okay, that's because it's installed on my computer. But the cloud-based version, the web browser version, looks a little different. It has a lot of features. It doesn't have all of the features, but it's still pretty good. So maybe I'm going to start writing, this is my midterm paper. Look what's going on up here. It's saving it. In your regular desktop version of the software, when you type and you make changes to a document, you have to save it. In the cloud-based version, it changes immediately. It saves the changes immediately, okay? And that can be a good thing if you're saying, oh my God, that could be a scary thing. It can be. So you just want to be aware of that, all right? Now, I could continue to edit and say, the purpose of this paper is to discuss the reasons that students deserve the best resources and best grades possible. Okay, and so you would write a glowing, well-cited paper to support that, and it's saving the whole time. Now, you have a lot of the same features that you have in the regular version. Let me select that of Word. I can bold and I could make that a heading or there's a lot of things here, and I highly encourage you to explore that. But now let me answer the multi-million-dollar question, which is, where is this saved? Well, it is saved in the cloud, and very specifically, it is saved in Microsoft OneDrive. If you are familiar with G Drive, which is Google's version, or Dropbox, where you can upload and share documents, that's what Microsoft OneDrive is. At Southwest, I think at this particular time, you get about 1 terabyte of free storage. So that's pretty awesome. Uh-oh. Okay, that's just because of I'm recording and sometimes there's collisions with change the color scheme. Keep it, don't show the message again. There's the one. Okay, so apologize for that. So it is saving in the cloud. Here's the really cool thing about that. Have you ever worked on a term paper at home? You've gotten to school and you say, oh, I have some time. If I just had that term paper, I could finish typing on it. Or you try to email it to yourself, but you get confused about what version of the document that, do you have the most recent one in your email? Or you save it to a flash drive and you forget the flash drive at home, or worse yet, in a classroom, and that happens all the time, or in the academic support center, library, and you've lost this flash drive with all your stuff on it, right? That's terrible. You will not have that problem if you save things to the cloud. This saved it directly to the cloud. Now, when I say cloud, again, Microsoft OneDrive. But even if you typed it and saved it to your computer, you can always upload it into OneDrive, the cloud, whenever you want. Notice I have multiple tabs open here. Well, this is the browser-based version of Word. And here's where we came in. Remember, I clicked on Word. This is not installed. This is in the browser. Right, the browser-based version. Here's OneDrive. Now again, your OneDrive icon may be, I don't know, who knows where. I'm going to click on that. See the tabs opening in my browser? You won't see that if you are using the regular version of Word. There's no tabs because I'm not in my browser, right? I keep switching back and forth because I want you to see what the difference is. Whether I'm using the browser-based version, which I can open from anywhere, even on my cell phone, even on my tablet, versus Microsoft Word installed on my system, on my PC or my laptop or my Mac, right? Okay. Here are some documents. I use this as a demonstration account so that I can show things. Remember, this document was rudely named because it has no great value in terms of the name, called Document 2. This is it right here, created 2 minutes ago. So if I ever wanted to open it again, just to show you, I'll close that. There it is. I said, oh, I need to keep working on that research paper. There it is, and I can open it. But here's where it gets even cooler. I am actually a part of a team, and we're supposed to work together to finish this term paper, perhaps. But I said to my teammate, my classmate, let's meet at the library. And he said, well, I don't have transportation. I can't get up there, but I have a computer at home. And then you said, well, I don't have transportation over to your house. It's too late. I can't go out at that time of night. But why don't we both sit at our computers and work on the paper? Now, maybe your teammate, maybe she can only work on the paper in the afternoon. So she can open your paper you can share it with her so that she can open this very copy, or he can open this very copy. Now, you saw me. Let me do that again in case I've lost you. There's my document 2. How'd I start? Let's go back. I logged in portal.microsoft online. Initially, I used Word Online to create it. But then I came back. I clicked on OneDrive, my cloud storage. Clicked on OneDrive here. There's my document 2, and I'm going to open it again. Now, here's the first thing that kind of throws you. I can't type. It says the document's read only. I want to edit the document. You would also see that here, but be very, very careful here, folks. I got 2 options. One says edit it in Word. That means it's going to save it to your local computer, and when you're done, you would have to put it back up into the cloud. Well, I don't want to go through all that trouble, so I'm just going to edit it in my browser. Now I see my editing tools. Okay, so maybe I continue to work on the paper, and I say an example of the tools, resources include Microsoft Word Online, Microsoft OneDrive, web-based storage. 1 terabyte. That's a whole lot of space. Okay, and I keep on working on that. Maybe I'll start even a bulleted list. Saving it, saving constantly, doing it. Right, but I want to make sure that my, my buddy on this, my teammate, can work on it also. So what should I do? I can share it. I just come up here and I click on share. And now I have some decisions to make. The first decision that I have to make is, how am I going to share this? Am I going to say that anybody with a link can edit this document? I'm going to tell you, frankly, I have trouble with that where it doesn't always work. You can certainly try it because with upgrades, things get better every day. So I'm not going to tell you it doesn't work. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. People in Southwest. Well, if I'm sharing with another student at Southwest, or a faculty member at Southwest, or an employee at Southwest, this is where it's going to be. So I'm going to pick that. And notice also down here at the bottom it says, do I want to allow editing? If I was sharing my resume with someone and I wanted them to look at it, I may not want them to edit it. Also remember that whenever they make a change, it's going to be saved automatically. Okay, so that's a decision. I am definitely going to allow editing because this is my lab partner. I want them to be able, to make changes to this. So I'm going to click apply. Okay, now I need to know, I can do this either one of two ways. I can copy a link to this document and then just email it to them, where maybe I type a nice email and I say, hey, here's a link to our lab report. You can certainly do that. There's no problem with that, at all. I do that just to show you. Click on copy, there you go. I'm not going to do that though. Let me do that one more time. It's like, what are you doing? I just gave you the link. Okay, there we go. Anyone? No, not anyone. Southwest folks, allow editing, apply. And I need to know what their email address is. So I was using my sample account over there, but now I'm going to share it with my Southwest account. And I did that a little too quickly. I apologize. It recognized me. Well, let me do it again. I started to type my name. And it even tells you who I am at the college. If I'm a student, it would say student underneath that, right? Now, I could add, maybe I have 2 people in my group or 3 people. I could add all, maybe I'm a part of a club or an organization. I could share it with, my leadership team of SGA or Spanish club or whatever club you happen to be. So you do that, you come down here. Now, folks, I highly encourage you, don't just sling this at somebody without telling them what it is, because you don't want to send them or have them think that this is some kind of virus that they're sending you, right? So say, Dr. McGrory, this is the lab report that we discussed, and I am sharing it with you. Okay, and I'm going to send. Now, you're going to, when this sends, give it, just a minute. This is okay, this link sent to document 2. I could also copy this link if I needed to, okay, whatever the situation is there. I'm booting up. You can probably hear this another computer because I want to show you now how this works. I'm going to close this. I'm sitting here and I'm going to wait for that other person to get my invitation. And I'm going to pause the video for just a moment so that I can get logged in and show you what this online collaboration is like, because you're going to love it. So the system sent an email whenever saying, hey, this document has been shared with you. Whenever you do share a document with somebody else, you also get a copy of the email. So this is a nice verification to you that it actually was shared. I don't need to open this shared document, because how can I share something with myself? And never share it with yourself. That's another very common mistake that people make. It will cause so much angst and consternation in your life because it will really confuse the internet, okay? So don't do it. Because it's like saying, I'm going to give myself my book to borrow. It doesn't really make sense, and the computer knows that it doesn't make sense, and it keeps trying to take the original and share the original with you, but you are the original. See how that's a problem? Don't do that. Okay, but I did just want to point out and see that nice little message, and this is what they get also, and they'll know all they have to do is click open. Okay, so we're back. I shared the document with Jay McGrory, and Jay McGrory received that link, opened the document, and now she is in there typing, or at the same time. We can share. We don't have to be online at the same time, but it's kind of cool when you are. Up here at the top, it says, hey, somebody else is in this document. Here's the people who are in this document. If I want to, I can chat with that person right now, because maybe we want to talk about what we're going to do in the document, so I can start a chat session. But Jay McGrory looked here and said, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? On the computer that you cannot see right now, I double-clicked this word to select it, and so it sees that I am editing that document, and in pretty much real time, it starts to, I'm making edits on a different computer, and you're seeing it. And as I move around the document and I make edits, real time, oops, I thought that was corrected. You can see it. If you have 10 people in here, the most I've had on here at one time is about 25 people. Real time editing of documents to promote collaboration. See how it sees me working? And if on this computer, if I begin to work, and of course you can't see this right now, but on the other person's computer, they see a little flag moving around, and they see those edits in real time. Now remember, this is being saved in real time, so if you accidentally pull one of these numbers, oh no, right? That's horrible. So try not to do that. If you do that, undo, keyboard shortcut, Control-Z, get it back as fast as you can, to avoid any problems. Now, this is the coolest part. Remember the way that we shared the document. We just clicked on share right here. Remember, we started the document, I'm closing that, by logging into portal.microsoftonline.com, and we use the cloud-based version of Word. And so that's, very cool. When you go into OneDrive, you can also upload any kind of file. You could upload a Word document. You could upload a PDF. You can upload a video or an audio file. You have a lot of space out here that you can work with, and it's really kind of cool. Now, I do want to show you one last thing before we go. All right. So I've shown you how to create a document that's through your browser with no software installed, just by going to portal.microsoftonline.com. But what if somebody wants to share a document with you? How do you access that? Well, one thing that you know for sure is that you will get an email, and you click that open link. But another way that you can do that is going to be through this shared with me. Let me start by sharing a document with you. Since we're both online at this time, I'm going to, let's see, just click the send button, and we should get a little alert. Oops, there it is. There's that email. So I'm opening that. Faster, faster. And it looks like somebody has shared this volunteer sign-up sheet with me. Okay, so again, this time it's an Excel document, and again, all I would have to do is click the open button, and I could go right into it. You know that, and that's easy, and if you're sitting here or you're checking your email, it's easy to do. But maybe this is something that's going on over a long period of time, several weeks maybe, and you don't want to have to go find that email every time you want to go into it. So I'm going to go to this link. Again, we're in OneDrive that says shared with me. In any document, and I've had students share work with this account over several semesters, but I see that, here are some spreadsheets that have been shared with me, and it tells me who the person is that is sharing it. And I see this volunteer sign-up sheet, so I'm going to click on that. Now again, I'm still in my browser, and this is very different than if I was to go to my Start button and open the version of Excel that is actually installed on my computer. This is the browser-based version of this. And so, again, so here I am now. I start typing. I can't type. Why can't I type? Because I've got to first go over here and turn on this edit. When I do, again, I don't want to edit it. You certainly could, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's just some extra steps because you're taking it offline, and you're in essence creating a separate copy that may become out of date, totally different than the original one. So you want to, when you're collaborating with others, especially, edit in the browser. And so I say, okay, for whatever our event is, I agree to help set up tables, and I'm going to, put my name in here that I'm going to do that. Now, we probably wouldn't need address and phone, but maybe you put your cell phone and that kind of stuff. I can only stay 15 minutes. I'm going to set up one table, right? Okay, in the same way, when something is shared like this, let me get in here. I'm on my other computer, and as the owner of the document, I'm going to come over here, and I can see everything that this says in real time. And I may click down here and say, let's see, I'm going to do clean up. Oops, I forgot to edit. I started typing, and I did not allow to edit in browser. And oops, so I'm going to say clean up and remove trash. Now I'm typing. You don't see it yet. I'm editing in the cell. I just hit enter, but you can see it, moving around over here. Then I'm going to say, let's see, Fred is going to do that, and Fred says, I cannot attend early, but I can stay after event. All right, so see how this is appearing, and you can kind of see my cursor saved automatically, didn't have to do any kind of saving. So this is how easy it is to use these online collaborative tools, and it's all because you have this 1 terabyte of storage in this thing called OneDrive, and it's because I logged into the portal, and maybe I'm doing a report by myself, and if so, I'm going to download this software on my home computer, and I'm going to use all the power of Word and Excel and PowerPoint that I can get through the installed copies. But especially if I'm collaborating with someone, I'm going to use the browser-based version of Word or Excel or PowerPoint. Whether or not I'm collaborating or not, I'm definitely going to keep my files in OneDrive, because then I don't have to keep up with my flash drive or remembering, is the most current copy of that paper at my home computer? Did I leave that on my cousin's computer? No, I think I did. I worked on that when I was in the classroom, and that's where the most current version is. So I don't have to worry about any of that. I'm just going to keep it stored up here in the cloud. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I know it's a long video, but I hope it was helpful to you, and we'll be talking to you later.